Morning, everybody. We are here with Shakirah Davis from the marketing and advertising team for Antigua Barbuda. Shakirah, thanks so much for coming on and chatting with us a little bit about the show. Nice. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do for the destination.
My name is Shakirah Davis. My role on the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority team is marketing communications executive. So I am in contact with our hotel partners. They update us with what's new with their properties, and then we would then update travel agents over here. I also work very closely with our PR team. So that means if we have any content creator trips or journalist trips, or if we're doing any TV shows, which we have done quite a bit of in the past couple of years.
That's awesome.
So I work closely with our PR over here, but I also work with our representation. So we are represented by companies in Italy and Germany, as those are two of our main European
feeder markets. Yeah. Okay.
Outside of the UK.
Okay, and you guys handle UK directly?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you on the UK team as
Yes,
well?
I'm
Okay.
UK.
And then are you based here?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. How often do you get to go to the islands yourself?
At least once or twice a year.
Nice.
So this year I've been able to go twice. And last year the same, but I also have family in Antigua, so I went
beautiful.
for a family trip.
So that's where you're based originally.
That's where my family's based.
Awesome. So how has the show been for you?
The show has been amazing. This is my third one,
Wow.
and I will say I think this is the busiest that I have seen it.
Ever?
It's not a bad thing.
So do you think that's a sign that tourism is coming back, or do you think it's just everybody has to try harder now, so they're here like getting partnerships done and working, a little bit of both?
I do think definitely, especially out of the pandemic, traveling is definitely on the up. I mean, it's represented in the travel trends that I've read about, or the numbers that I've seen come out of Antigua and Barbuda and the Caribbean. And so yes, I think it's definitely an increase, and that's reflected in the show this week.
Totally. One of the things that we've seen in the research that we've done, a couple of trends. One is that airlines and hotels are back to pre-pandemic levels. Some destinations are up, some destinations are a little bit down, but as a whole, they're up. But the one thing that we've noticed is that the experience side of travel, what you do and what you eat when you get to where you go, is up 40%. What are you guys doing to capitalize on the idea that travel is an experience and not a destination?
So we are focusing on a few things. So the most recent thing that we started, or initiative that we started, is Culinary Month. And so that is to share Antigua and Barbuda's culinary offering, especially because there is a trend of people wanting to travel but really immerse themselves in the culture of the place that they go into.
Especially with food, right?
Yes, especially with food, and I can speak for myself as well.
Yeah, same.
I love to experience the food of any place that I visit, so that's one of the things that we're focusing on. And so the purpose of Culinary Month is not only to shine a light on the restaurants and different cuisines that we have in Antigua and Barbuda, but also the local businesses that sell local traditional Antigua and Barbuda cuisine. So as part of the initiative, we launched a food passport, which encourages tourists and people in Antigua for Restaurant Week and Culinary Month to visit, different restaurants, try their different menus.
Kind of like a restaurant week in different cities in America, where you get kind of everybody does a special menu that's maybe discounted or even free if you sign up for this bigger ticket, and you go around to different places, try different things. That's amazing.
We ensure that there is a cultural element, because even the international cuisine restaurants, our French restaurants, Italian restaurants, some of their menus that they create also take from traditional.
It's kind of a fused menu.
It's a fusion, which is so amazing. And we also have Antigua and Barbuda Art Week, to focus on local artists. We actually have a huge art scene in Antigua.
Interesting.
We have many artists that do painting. We have one that creates art pieces from recycled materials.
Wow.
And we're actually showcasing some of that on the stand today. So if you have a look at the back of our stand, we've got different pieces of artwork from some of the artists that we've worked with for Art Week in Antigua. And so those are two of the things that we're increasingly trying to focus on. Of course, we have weddings, honeymoons, and romance, which we have won awards for in the past. And so that's something that we will always have a focus on. And we also look at wellness and increasingly our group offering as well.
Interesting.
So we've had a couple of conferences on the island.
Oh, that's cool.
We hosted CHTA, which is the Caribbean Hotels Tourism Authority.
Got it. Yeah.
Association, sorry.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is. But it's a huge tourism event amongst the Caribbean. So directors from the different tourism boards are on the island.
I think I might have even seen that in my research. I wanted to get out to that, but for whatever reason, couldn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe
next year, for sure. I would love that. Yeah.
But yeah, so we're trying to find different ways to increase what Antigua and Barbuda has to offer as a destination.
Yeah, I love what you were talking about on the culinary side. Something that's an interesting research. I recently interviewed the chief marketing officer of Holland America, and she told me that the number one determinator of when somebody chooses a cruise is actually the food and beverage. I wonder if that translates into other vacation options. I think it's probably more so with the cruise because you're kind of held hostage and you have to eat there.
Yeah.
If you're at a hotel, you can leave the property. You can go out for your dinner if you don't like the restaurant or you're bored of whatever, eating at the property restaurant, or you've run out of options, or you just want to get out. But cruise ship, you don't have that same option. But I do think culinary is still must be up in the top 3 probably of like why people go on vacation. I recently was in Cancun for the Cancun travel market 2 weeks ago. I stayed at a property in Tulum, and one of the cool things that they did was they had an experience where you could make salsa and tortillas with the head chef of the restaurant.
Wow.
So, and you could also press sugarcane for mojitos on an antique sugarcane press. So I did that whole experience with my family, learned about the culture and the food, learned to make salsa, and then immediately bought a salsa making thing for my kitchen, and we'll probably do that on a regular basis now because we know how to do it. And I've probably told this story to 100 people. A great meal is a great meal, but it's not usually something that you talk about to other people. You just experience it, but when you have an experience where you learn something or you're a part of it, the word of mouth element tends to kind of kick into hyperdrive because you've had this amazing experience and you want to tell people about it. Are you guys thinking about that kind of immersive activities that people can do? People can learn new things. People can experience the local culture, and then it kind of creates that word of mouth buzz.
Definitely. So, for example, we have the Eat and Learn food tour. So that's a way you can try and taste what the typical Antiguan Barbuda will have during the day, breakfast, snacks, typical dinners. But also we have a tour called Humble and Free. So we have a Rastafarian community in Antigua, and so that tour is to show how they live within that community. And as part of the tour, you can do a cooking class where you're using ingredients that they've actually grown.
So it's kind of like that farm to table element.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And we have a restaurant in Antigua as well that also does farm to table. They have their own farm,
so good.
grow their own crops, and then they'll use whatever's in season to prepare dishes on their menu. So yeah, we are very much looking at how to make Antigua and Barbuda and how to make the experience there as immersive as possible.
I love that.
If it's immersive, you're going to remember that trip and you're going to recommend it.
Yeah, so I saw a keynote on Monday before the conference started, and there's kind of 3 parts of a trip. There's the planning, the experience, and the memory. And really, if you think about from a marketer's perspective, it's the experience turns into the memory, and then the memory is what people continue to share and just so much about travel. I believe word of mouth is the most important. Like, social media is great, advertising is great, PR is great. Nothing really beats word of mouth.
Yeah.
One person telling their friends and loved ones of what they should do. Recommendations, I feel like, are so important. You hit it on another really important trend, which is group travel. Millennial and Gen Z are overwhelmingly opting for destination weddings in higher numbers than we've ever seen. They don't want to have an expensive wedding at home where they have to invite a bunch of people they don't want to see. They want to go somewhere amazing with their closest friends and families and have an experience with them. You guys talked about Antigua Barbuda as the idea that you guys are known for weddings, honeymoons, and romance. How do you guys capitalize on that trend of group travel as well, especially with the younger demographics?
Well, at the moment with group travel, it is hosting those large conferences.
Oh, yep.
CHTA. But we're also here in the UK working with a company. They're a soca workout club.
Yeah.
So they do classes, but they want to do a workout and wellness retreat.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's a huge trend too.
Yeah, that will be hosted in Antigua in
So fun.
2027. And so that's one of the current projects that we're working on to increase and encourage group travel. And for next year, we have a travel agency in North London that we'll be working with, and they're doing a group trip to Antigua Carnival next year, and their target is to get 100 people.
Wow,
yes.
That's cool. I love that.
The group to go to Antigua for Carnival. So those are two huge things that we're working on, and that's only going to help us build on our group travel.
Love it.
Yeah.
If people want to learn more about your destination, where do you want people to learn more?
You can go to visitantiguabarbuda.com, where we have all of the information about travelling to Antigua, your hotels that you can stay in, restaurants that you can visit, or if you'd like and you're based here in the UK, you can contact the Tourism Authority via email at tourisminfouk@visitandb.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming on and talking with us a little bit.
Thank you very much for having me.
Bye-bye.